We are thrilled to introduce the International Indian Professionals Association, IIPA, a dynamic platform dedicated to connecting and empowering Indian professionals living overseas. At IIPA, our mission is to harness the diverse talents, skills, and experiences of Indian professionals to strengthen and uplift the global Indian community. Through collaboration, support, and engagement, we aim to foster a thriving network that facilitates knowledge sharing, professional growth, and cultural exchange. By building a strong network of skilled individuals, we aspire to create meaningful opportunities for development and to empower our members to make a lasting impact within the Indian expatriate community. We believe that together we can achieve extraordinary heights. Through a range of workshops, networking events, mentorship programs, and community service initiatives, we are addressing the unique challenges faced by our community and helping our members reach their full potential. Join us on this exciting journey to build a stronger, united, and resourceful Indian professional network. Together, let's make a difference. We are thrilled to introduce the International Indian Professionals Association, IIPA, a dynamic platform dedicated to connecting and empowering Indian professionals living overseas. At IIPA, our mission is to harness the diverse talents, skills, and experiences of Indian professionals to strengthen and uplift the global Indian community. Through collaboration, support, and engagement, we aim to foster a thriving network that facilitates knowledge sharing, professional growth, and cultural exchange. By building a strong network of skilled individuals, we aspire to create meaningful opportunities for development and to empower our members to make a lasting impact within the Indian expatriate community. We believe that together we can achieve extraordinary heights. Through a range of workshops, networking events, mentorship programs, and community service initiatives, we are addressing the unique challenges faced by our community and helping our members reach their full potential. Join us on this exciting journey to build a stronger, united, and resourceful Indian professional network. Together, let's make a difference. We are thrilled to introduce the International Indian Professionals Association, IIPA, a dynamic platform dedicated to connecting and empowering Indian professionals living overseas. At IIPA, our mission is to harness the diverse talents, skills, and experiences of Indian professionals to strengthen and uplift the global Indian community. Through collaboration, support, and engagement, we aim to foster a thriving network that facilitates knowledge sharing, professional growth, and cultural exchange. By building a strong network of skilled individuals, we aspire to create meaningful opportunities for development and to empower our members to make a lasting impact within the Indian expatriate community. We believe that together we can achieve extraordinary heights. Through a range of workshops, networking events, mentorship programs, and community service initiatives, we are addressing the unique challenges faced by our community and helping our members reach their full potential. Join us on this exciting journey to build a stronger, united, and resourceful Indian professional network. Together, let's make a difference. We are thrilled to introduce the International Indian Professionals Association, IIPA, a dynamic platform dedicated to connecting and empowering Indian professionals living overseas. At IIPA, our mission is to harness the diverse talents, skills, and experiences of Indian professionals to strengthen and uplift the global Indian community. Through collaboration, support, and engagement, we aim to foster a sharing, professional growth, and cultural exchange. By building a strong network of skilled individuals, we aspire to create meaningful opportunities for development and to empower our members to make a lasting impact within the Indian expatriate community. We believe that together we can achieve extraordinary heights. Through a range of workshops, networking events, mentorship programs, and community service initiatives, we are addressing the unique challenges faced by our community and helping our members reach their full potential. Join us on this exciting journey to build a stronger, united, and resourceful Indian professional network. Together, let's make a difference. We are thrilled to introduce the International Indian Professionals Association, IIPA, a dynamic platform dedicated to connecting and empowering Indian professionals living overseas. And experiences of Indian professionals to strengthen and uplift the global Indian community. Through collaboration, support, and engagement, we aim to foster a thriving network that facilitates knowledge sharing, professional growth, and cultural exchange. By building a strong network of skilled individuals, we aspire to create meaningful opportunities for development and to empower our members to make a lasting impact within the Indian expatriate community. We believe that together we can achieve extraordinary heights. Through a range of workshops, networking events, mentorship programs, and community service initiatives, we are addressing the unique challenges faced by our community and helping our members reach their full potential. Join us on this exciting journey to build a stronger, united, and resourceful Indian professional network. Together, let's make a difference. We are thrilled to introduce the International Indian Professionals Association, IIPA, a dynamic platform dedicated to connecting and empowering Indian professionals living overseas. At IIPA, our mission is to harness the diverse talents, skills, and experiences of Indian professionals to strengthen and uplift the global Indian community. Through collaboration, support, and engagement, we aim to foster a thriving network that facilitates knowledge sharing, professional growth, and cultural exchange. By building a strong network of skilled individuals, we aspire to create meaningful opportunities for development and to empower our members to make a lasting impact within the Indian expatriate community. We believe that together we can achieve extraordinary heights. Through a range of workshops, networking events, mentorship programs, and community service initiatives, we are addressing the unique challenges faced by our community and helping our members reach their full potential. Join us on this exciting journey to build a stronger, united, and resourceful Indian professional network. Together, let's make a difference.
Hello, good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Shafeeq, your host for this webinar today. You know, Indian International Professional Association, or IIPA, is trying to bring you interesting and informative webinars from time to time. Today, we have brought another topic for the Indian professionals to benefit from. The topic for today is the parenting challenges in a changing world, the strategies for success. And today's guest speaker for this webinar is Dr. Samir Hasan Dalwai. He's a very renowned developmental pediatrician. Let's have a look at his brief introduction.
Dr. Samir Hasan Dalwai is a developmental behavioral pediatrician who has dedicated his career to deliver innovative interventions to children with special needs and their families. He is
Sorry for the technical glitch there.
Hello, Dr. Shafeeq. Can you hear me?
The recipient of the Government of India's Rajiv Gandhi Manav Seva Award for Services to Children 2012. Dr. Dalwai is the founder director and consultant at New Horizons Child Development Center, Mumbai. Which is a development pediatrician-led multidisciplinary team with 7 centers and an online intervention program for children with special needs like autism, learning disability, intellectual disability, neuromotor and syndromic disorders, adolescent concerns, ADHD, etc. He and his team have proposed the social interaction theory of autism as well as the social behavior and communication sequence of development. His current work is around delivering online intervention programs for children with special needs. He is attached to the Max Nanavati Hospital in Mumbai. He is the editor-in-chief of the IIPA Handbook of Developmental Behavioral Pediatrics. He has numerous publications to his credit and delivered orations and guest lectures across India and the world.
Dr. Samir sir, welcome to this webinar. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
There.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm not able to see your video. Let me finish.
I can see you actually. Yeah, there I am.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I'm speaking
welcome, sir. Sorry for this technical glitch during the introduction. I think you have joined from 2 devices because your video is not being played here.
My audio is from another device, but let this video be on and I'll share also my presentation from this device. Please allow me to share the presentation.
Yes, can you try now?
No, I'm not allowed to share. So just let me share from, no, not from this device, from the other device.
Okay. Okay, I got it here. Yeah, I think it's coming now. Yeah.
All right. Is this visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The stage is yours. Please proceed.
All right. So, Dr. Shafeeq and all my respected dear friends and colleagues from all across who have joined today's meeting on parenting. We're going to talk about parenting challenges in a changing world. I'm a developmental behavioral pediatrician. My name is Dr. Samir Hasan Dalwai. I am from Mumbai and I run an organization called New Horizons Child Development Center, which has 6 branches in Mumbai, 1 branch in Gujarat. And we have an online division that caters to children across the world for developmental challenges. And I'm so happy to show this is my wonderful team, which works with me, and all of us work day in and day out to get about 850 children who are registered on our program across the world better. And all, I get all the credit, but it's all their hard work that actually sees us through. Shafeeq bhai, I'll request you to keep admitting those who are entering the room now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because otherwise I'll have to do that. So if you can do that, then I don't have to.
I will do it, sir. Yeah.
Right. So before we proceed, I'd like to all the parents to know here what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about these are the 5 challenges parents face and these are the 10 solutions for these 5 problems. Not at all. I don't believe in doing that. I'm going to share with you my learning over the last so many years about how child psychology is being affected and how it is impacting child behavior today and what needs to be done at a grassroots level rather than just some symptomatic 5 solutions for this and 3 quick fixes for that, which never works. Basically, what we are also going to understand is all of us now know that mobiles are a bad thing. But then why is it that parents are not able to keep their children away from mobiles and gadgets? And that needs to be understood in detail. And that's what we are going to try and look at here. I'm going to present my whatever I need to share in this 6 points. First is the evolution of how all children evolved and developed, and the current situation, some research at New Horizons, and then what's been happening since 2000 and what's likely to happen now, and the solutions. As we begin, the most important thing to understand about the brain is that the brain works on the basis of two neurons, which are quite useless unless they connect with each other. It's like two people meeting at the locker room or at the cooler and exchanging gossip. Only when the gossip is exchanged does the information spread all over. So these cells connecting with each other at a place called a synapse transmit the knowledge from one to the other. And it's very important for parents to know that the neurons by themselves are quite useless, which is why a newborn child has 200 billion neurons, but is not able to do anything. And it's only when the neurons start connecting based on the stimulation that the child is facing that the density of the connections increases. And the more the density of the connections, more the child starts learning and developing in the next few months of life. And you see the increase in the density just in the first 2 years is so maximal. So also important to realize that the density never gets actually more. In fact, it gets lesser. And that's because over a period of time, if you haven't connected, the neurons actually die off. And hence, it's very important to understand that the maximum potential for the human brain to learn is the first 3 years of life. It's not the first 5 years. It's not the first 6 years. It's the first 3 years of life. But at the same time, if you are able to make two neurons connect to each other, it's never too late for the child to learn or for the person to learn. Very important to understand that every child goes through his own or her own development in the way human beings have undergone evolution in the last 6 million years. And I'll request all of you to read this book, which is extremely vital, Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. And that tells us that the difference between the animals from whom the humans evolved, that basic difference was animals have the fight or flight reaction. They are all based on the autonomic nervous system, where faced with a challenge, they will either fight or they will run away. So it's just the binary, yes or no, do this or run away kind of a thing. But when the humans evolved, what evolved was the frontal part of the brain or the front part of the brain called the frontal cortex. And that allowed the humans to have so many more functions than the earlier apes. One of the most important things was delaying gratification. For example, a friend of mine is waiting for me, but I have to finish this talk before I go. So I am very happy to meet my friend, but I have to delay that gratification till I finish my job. Animals are not able to do that. Rational thought. It's not just yes or no or good or bad or good or evil. It's the ability to think through the gray zone. What exactly is the issue? How to go through it? What should be the pros? What are the cons? That is a rational thought. Then, of course, the ability to communicate my ideas to you, your ideas to me. But the most important is the ability to think as and for a large group, where a few human beings could get together, plan how to, create a big ruckus to drive that tiger into the pit and then kill the tiger. None of the humans has any guts or any strength to fight a tiger. But if you plan a strategy as a group, then we can all work together, which animals cannot do. And this led to the evolution of tribes and communities and villages and religions and castes and countries and nations, where we were able to say, hey, all of us belong to this one particular thought or religion or region, and this is our nation or this is our community. And over hundreds of years, the human brain and their genes adapted itself to living in communities, in large families, reared in their neighborhoods. And I want all of you to understand the term that basically what the term that we are using is nurturing care. And nurturing care is what happens to the child after he's born. On the day one of life, is not able to do anything. But what happens in the next 2 to 3 years, as I showed you with the neurons coding in the brain, is actually thanks to the way people around the child deal with the child, help the child, aid the child, coach the child, be with the child. All that actually nurtures the child. And this nurturing care was humanly possible in these large families and neighborhoods. Without this nurturing care, the brain cannot evolve appropriately. And this is just a picture from Shanti Niketan and Gurudev Rabindranath and Tagore. And we know so many, whether you look at a madrasa in the older days or a Gurukul or whatever you used to call, the teaching was like this. There was a master and the students would sit around the master. They were all in touch with each other and nature. And that is how the brain was nurtured. Unfortunately, today, you have a situation where the child has to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and the school bus is honking at your door at 7 a.m. In half an hour, the mother has to perform this phenomenal task of waking up the child, brushing, getting the child to brush their teeth, wash the mouth, go to the potty, toilet, come back, take a bath, wear fresh clothes, have breakfast, pack the bag, all within half an hour makes it just like a factory worker. It's a lack of time, multitasking, and the same thing again and again. In this half an hour, if the child says, Mama, my friend yesterday took my pencil and I'm very angry with him, I don't want to talk to him. Where is the time for the mother to explain delayed gratification or rational thought and communicate and help the child to think as a group with that other boy that don't worry, he must have forgotten his pencil or his mother must have been unwell yesterday, so she didn't give him his pencil. So he took your pencil. It doesn't mean he's a bad guy. Go and talk to him today. Where is the time to talk all this in that half an hour when the bus is honking below? And hence the mother has quickly to give an answer, quickly. Okay, he's a bad boy, don't talk to him. End of the story. We are not developing and nurturing our child's gratification to be delayed, rational thought, communication, working together with another person as a team. There is no time for all of it because parents itself are lapsing into back to what we said, the binary, yes or no, right or wrong, strong and weak, good and evil. And if you see today's world, it has been polarized as never before. I don't want to go into politics, but that's what's happening all over the world, where everybody now has no time, and hence the progress that our brain had achieved across 6 million years compared to animals, where we were getting better because we had these higher functions, is actually regressing back into the same binary. And this is a person I would like all of you to know. His name is Lev Vygotsky. He was a psychologist who explained why this nurturing care is very important, because children learn from those right next to them. The human infant cannot learn from a school teacher. He has to learn first from his mother, then he will learn from the chachi or the masi or the mumani or the khala. These are all the names that we use for the aunts, the paternal aunt, the maternal aunt. Unfortunately, in English, we have only one word, aunt. But I'm sure if you are familiar with Urdu, you will know what I mean about Khala Jan and Puppi Jan and Chachi Jan. And all these are different people from whom the child then learns. After learning from them, then he can learn from the neighbors who are a little different from the family. And only after that, he can learn from a school teacher who may be not even from the same nationality as the mother. Unfortunately, all of this is being replaced today, and the nurturing care which should have progressed like this is not going on like this. Because one of the worst things that has happened and impacted human evolution and development is there are no neighborhoods today. There are no joint families, but there are no neighborhoods also to compensate for this, because everybody is so isolated and in their own life that a friend of mine from Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor Ajay Guruvarti, calls this living together separately. And I'd like you to take a picture of this article here, and you can Google it. It's available on internet from the magazine Outlook, because a child who has been weaned on screens does not get a neighborhood, is unlikely to learn the social maneuvering that you learn from one auntie who's like this and the other aunt who's like that. So with this aunt, behave like this, don't behave like that. But with the other aunt, behave like that, don't behave like this. This is an essential process of human brain development called nurturing care, which is completely missing today. And hence, in the situation today, children don't have an opportunity to practice reasoning, reasonable thinking. They are not used to multiple social situations involving families and neighborhoods at all. But all of us only recognize it as children don't have empathy today. Because when your child is 14 years old, and you say that, look, your aunt has come down and say hello to her, he has no connect with her. You tell your child that, look, one of my aunts has passed away and I need to go and visit her. He will not share any of your grief. You will say that children don't have empathy, but look at the reason why they have developed a lack, or rather, they have not developed empathy. Unfortunately, parents of today's generation feel that it's a waste of time to spend a child's time in the neighborhood. Why don't I directly pay and send a child to school as early as possible so he can be the next Einstein or whoever else they want the child to be? But please remember, all the social maneuvering that children should have learned in the neighborhood cannot be learned in a few weeks of a very swank, high paying or high charging preschool, because the school is expected to teach, and teaching academics is binary, because 1 plus 1 is 2, it cannot be 3. So if you answer 1 plus 1 is 2, you are right. If you answer 3, you are wrong. If you answer Newton's first law correctly, you are right. If you don't explain it correctly, you are wrong. School is all about being right or wrong, being a good boy or a bad boy, being a nice child or a naughty child, being a child who has got 50% and passed, or a child who has got less than 50% has failed. So pass or fail, or promoted or retained. So schools are based on the principle of the binary principle, either yes or no, good or bad. There is no gray zone. There is no space to explore, to learn, to have rational thought, to learn options, because all those are possible only in nurturing care, which is available in the community and can never be found in the school. And hence the brain is now regressing. And today we have found a kind of an interesting regression that children are now becoming emotional, short term, narrow looking, self serving. And the real loss that is happening is children no longer can learn delayed gratification or reasoning or empathy or an ability to resist impulsive thinking, because that part of the brain which was essential to be nurtured by society is not being nurtured, and this aspect is not being developed at all. And today, forget about things like brotherhood or fraternity or equality or social causes or morality or empathy. Do you think any one of you can tell me that you think your child is going to launch a campaign for rights of, against some government or against some political organization, or is going to stand up and go onto the street and protest? I don't think any of us are thinking our children can even think like that today. Of course, if you give them some credit card, they might use your credit card to donate to some charity. But that's not what we are talking about. So, all of this about social causes, morality, empathy, all of it is going down. And what you are beginning to see is children have a very tunnel view of quick fix. They want to go to the share market and invest in the share market. Who wants to go to a college? They want to become YouTubers. Who wants to think through the fact that 99% of the YouTubers never make any money? Everybody wants these machismo solutions. I don't know how many of you are watching movies, but there was an interesting thing. All the 3 movies or 4 movies which have made 1,000 crores in India in the last 6 months have been movies like RRR and Pushpa and Animal, which only and only talk about machismo solutions. And if you don't get what I'm saying, please go to Netflix and watch a series called Adolescence. How many of you have seen this series? Can you just give me a thumbs up? You can just put a thumbs up against your name. How many of you have seen Adolescence? Or you can unmute yourself. Yeah, I can see 1 or 2 people saying yes.
I have seen, sir.
Yeah, you've seen. Wonderful. How many people have seen Adolescence? Yeah, please go and watch. It's very, very eye-opening, if I may say so. But the reason for why you are getting those kind of children today is based in pure science. And today we are seeing no decrease in the rate of suicides. What we are seeing a decrease is in the age at which suicides are being committed. You have 10, 12-year-old children harming themselves because they lack resilience. Resilience is the ability to deal with failure. Where do you think that comes in? It only comes in when you had gone to that aunt's house who was always a little strict or a little, irritated with you or a little angry always, and you had to listen to a few tough words from her, before you were able to get the biryani that she served. But you tolerated all those tough words because guess what? You wanted that biryani, which was phenomenal. And you waited and, tolerated all this as long as you are going to get the biryani. So that's where you learned the ability to tolerate whatever you didn't like and wait till you got to whatever you did. Today, unfortunately, it's not possible because learning this requires people and time and an environment of nurturing care. Now, I want to come to the fact what all of us talk about is digital time, screen time, how bad it is. Please understand, digital time or screens are not the trigger, are not the problem. They are just the trigger because today, when the digital media comes in, it comes into a world which already has lost nurturing care. And in fact, for these children, the nurturing care is lost and they have no idea of nurturing care. They are not able to have all these understandings, and that's why they take to the digital world or the screen so easily because they are not able to understand anything else. So in fact, mobiles and screen time is actually the seed that you are sowing in a field that has already been ploughed by changing moralities, changing dimensions, changing habits, where we have no time for anybody, and the world had already become binary. In this binary situation, when you bring in mobiles, there is no way that the child can resist it, and that leads to decreasing human interaction even further. Now the child does not even want to interact with the parents, and that is why things are worsening. And I'm writing a book called The Dangerous Leap of Children from Cradle to Classroom because we have bypassed the nurturing care available in joint families, in large families, in neighborhoods and communities, and we are directly replacing that with the binary. So what's happening is screens are replacing family members, schools are replacing neighborhoods. This has been a very sudden change. Genes require hundreds and thousands of years to change with the situation. Unfortunately, we have not had time for this massive change which has appeared only in the last 2 decades, and hence the children who are born from 2000 to 2025 onwards now did not have the ability to deal with the current world, and hence what we are seeing is a large number of children with anxiety, impulsivity, hyperactivity, poor attention spans, and tantrums. As young as 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, preschools, everywhere else, teachers are complaining, parents are complaining that children are developing these behaviors. I'm going to show how some of the research that we have done has led us to understand all this. All of you, if you like, you can take a screenshot of this and go and read these things later. But what we described at New Horizons is something for the first time in the world, the milestones of social behavior and communication. We all know that the milestones of motor development or gross motor development are head holding, rolling over, sitting, then standing, then walking, then running. So we all knew that sequence because we can see it. What we described are the invisible sequence or the invisible milestones, where the first milestone that the human child develops after birth is social interaction or engaging with humans. Watching the humans, for example, when the bell rings, the mother goes and opens the door. When the bell doesn't ring, the mother doesn't open the door. So knowing when to open the door, when not to open the door, when to bring the plates to the table, when not to bring them, who to open the door for, who not, where to undress, where not, on whose lap to sit, on whose lap not to sit. All these human behaviors can develop only if the child is engaging with people, only if there is human engagement. A good few months of watching parents leads the child's brain. Remember those neurons connecting that I showed you in the first 1,000 days? They connect so much that by 8 9 months the child is able to understand non-verbal communications, the pointing and the gestures, which is from ishare kehte hain. After that the brain gets even better. That's why finally the child can understand speech. A good 2 years of speech, thousands of words in the vocabulary, grammar, etc., is the child's brain ready to understand reading and writing. And what we realize is there are some children who have a gene that doesn't allow them to focus on human engagement. We call it poor Manushya Magnata or less human engagement. And hence, if the child does not have human engagement, he will have poor eye contact, no response to name call, will not understand when to run to the door, when not to run to the door, no pointing gestures and no speech. And this is what leads to the development of autism. And those children who are more engaged with objects rather than humans learn from objects. All objects, unlike people, run only in patterns. You behave differently with one aunt and differently with another aunt, but all objects behave the same way. So, children who are engaged with objects and with mobiles are pattern copying experts, and those who are only copying the same actions everywhere have echolily and repetitive behaviors. And this is what we published in the Indian Journal of Practical Pediatrics, how autism is developing this world today, because the innate engagement with humans, if it is lacking, and the society is now deficient in providing human engagement, it is very likely that children are developing autism. What did we learn when we are working with children with autism? So, with about I mentioned to you about 850 out of them, almost 600 children are children with autism. We learned that explaining to the parents these concepts, that it is exposure to objects, exposure to pattern learning, exposure to gadgets, exposure to screens, exposure to nursery rhymes even before the child understands anything. All these are worsening the child and they need to be stopped. And instead, you need to increase human engagement, sitting with the child, cuddling the child, hugging the child, drawing the child's attention towards you. And that actually is now leading to a phenomenal improvement in our children with autism, far more than doing multiple sessions for children with autism, what the Western world tells us, whether it is ABA or occupational therapy or speech therapy or medications or whatever else. And we have found that those across the last 8 years have not taken that much of an improvement for children with autism as compared to coaching parents on this aspect that I spoke with you. So in the last 25 years, what we have seen is a tremendous change has resulted in increasing digitalization and poor nurturing care, leading to poor social understanding and behavior. They are not able to connect with people. They are not able to engage with people. That led to the rise of autism. What I'm now going to go in the next 5 minutes is into the unknown. The children who are being born in generation beta from 2025 onwards, and I'm so worried for them because I call this from cradle to cloud. And today, the child who's born in artificial intelligence, please understand, you never know with artificial intelligence what is real, what is fake, what is real news, what is fake news. And you have all these videos of Mr. Trump going around, which are all fake videos, which are lampooning him. For example, I'm just giving an example. You will never know sometimes. But if an adult who has developed normally cannot distinguish between reality and artificial, how do you think children who are born today and who are being shown the AI world from the time they are 4 or 5 months old, how will they able to distinguish between the reality and artificial perception? They're going to go away from reality from the very beginning of life. And I call AI something like a genetic mutation because suddenly, in a matter of few years, we have changed the human dynamics so much that genes have never had the time to evolve and adapt. And children are being born in a world where they don't have their genes ready to deal with it. Plus, generation beta will be born to older parents, smaller families who may not have the energy to engage the child or take him outdoors or go and visit relatives, more time spent indoors, and hence more digital gadget addiction. At least the current generation, the earlier generation, had a point of reference. These children who are now 8, 10 years old, at least their parents used to keep telling them, don't watch the mobile, don't get into mobile games, don't get into videos. But the generation beta will be born without this point of reference because their parents who are born after 2000 are already accepting the digital as a normal. All these fake narratives are being spread by the industry, by the marketing majors. All these, yo, my child is a digital native. Today's children are digital natives. All rubbish. I am a native of India, a native of Maharashtra, a native of Ratnagiri, specifically Chiplun. That is my native place, so to speak. I am from Ratnagiri, Konkan. I am not a native of, for example, Australia. Similarly, my forefathers in Chiplun and Ratnagiri were connected to each other. They were not on the cloud or they were not on mobile gadgets. So my past is not digital. My past is social. I am so social. We are social natives. We are not digital natives. But all this nonsense is being used to convince parents to buy these gadgets for their 3, 4 year month old children so that the companies get a bigger, earlier customer at an earlier age. But this is going to impact the child's brain development. So, finally, what are the solutions? The most important solutions for parents: stop making excuses. Please break these false narratives that children are digital natives, children need AI to develop, children need AI in the classroom, children need AI for education. Just let's take the example of Mahatma Gandhi, for example. Was he a digital native? Did he have AI for his development? Did he need AI? Did he have AI in his classroom in Porbandar? Or was he educated on AI? Did that stop him from being Mahatma Gandhi? I'm just giving an example. Choose whoever you want. So hence the 5-point agenda that I'm proposing on behalf of New Horizons is doctors, teachers have to talk to parents and make sure that we do not allow anybody to fool us with these terms like digital natives. Very important. Instead, we must mandate teaching other parents, our peers, brethren, to teach each other the importance of engaging with their families and friends and to find joy in human engagement. We must do this like a prescription. We must do this like a medicine. We must all together get together and work with the governments to mandate parks and open spaces where children can mingle. Very, very importantly, we must mandate the limiting of technology inside the classrooms. Today, it's exactly the opposite. The teachers are hardly teaching. There are mobiles, there are gadgets inside the classroom. If there are classroom is mandating education, parents feel, oh, my child will lose if he is not able to learn the computers in the school. But does that mean all these years there was no progress? Were we not learning without computers? This is all a fake narrative being spread only to make money by a particular industry. And now, in fact, with nuclear families becoming the norms, parents working most of the time, in fact, school has to now prevent becoming binary, and they will have to adopt the role of the family and the neighborhood and work on nurturing care rather than judgmental academics. This is the only way that we can fight the problem ahead. Adolescents, all of us are now looking at the problem that adolescents are having, the teenage children are having. The whole idea has been we have been focusing on their skill. We've been sending children for dancing classes, for mathematics classes, for science tuitions, for mobile classes. These are all skills. People learn how to use a mobile or a musical instrument. But when to do something, when not to do something, that is behavior. And that happens right in early childhood, like I mentioned. How to open the door, how to close the door is not important. Who to open the door for, who not to open the door for is important. All of us know that Newton's third law says action and reaction are equal and opposite. How many of us are able to adapt it in our life? How many children understand that if you behave badly with your peers, they will behave badly with you? That's Newton's third law. The child will be able to write it in the exam, but doesn't learn the adaptation. And hence, participation is always sacrifice now over performance. We want our children, somebody's asked this question: how will kids cope with competition? And what is a competition? If we are trying to kill ourselves, each other, is that worth the competition? So when you say competition, we need to understand what is the long-term outcome of that competition, what is the long-term outcome we are expecting for our children. And hence, it is the participation in an activity more than the performance. If the competition is to cooperate with each other, then that competition is good. Am I more helpful? Is the other person more helpful? Rather than saying, did I come first? Where I have to make sure that the other person comes second. This leads to more and more self centered, self isolated behaviors. And this is why we tell parents, don't be in a rush to send your children to all these hundreds of activities which are making money out of you. By charging you, we'll teach your child this, we'll teach your child that. All of it make the child more self-focused, more emotionally self-centered, and hence isolated. It doesn't really help the child in the outside world. What did we do at New Horizons during COVID when mothers and parents didn't have time to look after their child every day? We made a group of 6 mothers from a neighborhood and asked one mother to take a couple of hours from work, free from work, every week. And all the 6 children would come to her house after school rather than sitting in their own homes watching TV waiting for their mother to come. And this one mother would cook food whatever she wanted, would cook whatever she wanted, games whatever games she wanted, whatever she wanted to do, and all the children would indulge in that. Next day, this mother would go back to work. The other mother would take off. All the children would go to that mother's house. And there the children would do whatever that mother wanted. And so on and so forth. In 15 days, all these children were off the screen. But what is even more important, the teachers called his parents and said, "What did you do? How come your child has become so calm? How come he's no longer hyperactive? How come he's waiting for his turn? How come he's so cooperative? How come they're not fighting or are aggressive?" Because when we go to different cultures every day, we go back to the diversity. We are able to adjust. We are able to learn. In each mother's house, the child learns some differences. Each house is different, each culture is different. That actually develops the child brain much better than what was happening earlier. So, just like doctors have a group practice, you are now encouraging parents to have a group practice. Instead of 6 parents, if you have 24 parents, you need to take 2 hours off once a month. But the children will be even better because they have 24 families to learn from. If at all you're in a city like Bombay where nobody has families or uncles and aunts, they're actually telling them to participate in community activities like going to religious places, not just to learn religion, but to serve. For example, namaz time, you all know that you have to pick up the chatai, jo bolte usko, the carpet or whatever you call that, and you have to bichao the carpet, you have to sweep the floor. How many children are doing this today? Hardly anybody, because nobody is doing it in their house, because probably we have servants or parents are ready to do it. But what is very important is, unless children learn what was learned across the last millions of years, how to serve, how to work, it's not going to help them. And hence, what I keep telling parents is, if you want your child to be successful in addition to the competition, if you want your child to survive, if you want your child to be included in society, it is not the knowledge that the child has. Because if your child has a great deal of knowledge, how the hell does it help me? I don't care. But if your child knows something that can help me, then I'm interested in your child and taking care of your child. And hence, if all of you want your children to be looked after by somebody else after you are gone, then the most important thing to teach them is how they can be of use to others. And that is what is going to survive and help them survive, rather than competition where they are being taught to defeat others so that they can reach to the top. But when you reach to the top, nobody around wants you because of you are no use to others. And that is going to be your challenge to survival. So when we talk about inclusion, especially about children with special needs, this is what we are teaching our children with special needs, because no government, no school can make sure that everybody includes your child. The only way your child can be included is if he is helpful to others. I'll give you a small example. When the child is taught to help the mother at home or to help the aunt, or you're seeing an old aunt walking up the stairs, you tell your child, go pick up that aunt's bag, go drop the bag to that person's house. When the child picks this up, when they go to school, the teacher drops her bag by mistake or drops her book, all the other children in the classroom will start laughing because it's fun for them. Your child will go and pick up that book or that bag and give it to teacher. The moment he does that, he becomes your teacher's pet. Because everybody was laughing at her, this fellow, your child, went and he gave her that book back without laughing at her. Now he becomes a teacher's pet. Next time your child actually does some mischief, the teacher will never blame him. She will blame the other children because she is already biased towards your child. Why? Because your child was helpful. So the mantra or the idea to remember is serve to survive. And hence, what we are learning again is what is nurturing care. Nurturing care cannot be learnt in some classroom or some module. It can be learnt how to pick up different practices slowly, step by step, without being judged. That helps the child develop self-regulation better. And hence, the Khala, Fupi, Mumani, Chachi, Bua are far more important than Dr. Samir Dalwai or some psychologists or some development pediatricians or some schools or some classes. And hence, it is human engagement that powers learning. It takes a village to raise a child, agreed, but it takes a neighborhood to raise a citizen to serve others. And it takes social engagement to raise a normal child. Here are some clips that I'll play for you. Now, this is a child with special needs. One moment.
हैबिट बना लिया था कि रूम में अब जो भी
One second.
काम कर रहा है, एक पैटर्न है दादा जी। अगर डोर के पास जाना है उसे नॉक करना है, फिर कबर्ड खोलना है, फिर सोफा के पास जाना है, उस पर चढ़ना है, देन जंप करना है। तो वो सीरीज वाइज रिपीटेटिव वो कर रहा था, वही काम दिन में कई बार कर रहा था, और हम लोग रोज देख रहे थे। तो हम भी सोच रहे थे कि ये एक ही पैटर्न में क्यों कर रहा है।
ऑटिज्म का एक लक्षण ये भी है कि बच्चे पैटर्न कॉपी करने बहुत आसानी से लगते हैं, मगर इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि वो समझ के कर रहे हैं। कब करना है कब नहीं करना है ये नहीं समझते, और इसीलिए बहुत बार हम इस गलतफहमी में रहते हैं कि बच्चे सीख रहे हैं मगर वो सीख नहीं रहे हैं, सिर्फ पैटर्न कॉपी कर रहे हैं। इनफैक्ट आगे चल के अगर इस पैटर्न में कोई भी तब्दीली हो, कोई भी चेंज हो, तो बच्चा उसे बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकता। बहुत सी थेरेपियां अनफॉर्चुनेटली ऐसी भी है जो बच्चों को महज पैटर्न सिखाती है और हमें लगता है कि बच्चा कुछ सीख रहा है। ऐसे पैटर्न कॉपिंग का कोई फायदा नहीं। जो मतलब से बच्चा करे, कब करना है कब नहीं करना है, इसकी समझ होना ज्यादा जरूरी है। सिर्फ पैटर्न करने में कोई मतलब है नहीं।
So you can take a picture of all these QR codes and they will help you. You can download this, scan it and download it later. And you can go through all these things. All of them are available for free. Especially these two articles, I would like you all to take a screenshot. You can scan these codes. They're all free, available for you. Please look at them, go through it, share them with your friends. If you have any concerns, any questions, please write back to me.
Can
The
you
very
share
core
the
message
previous
that
one
I
one more time?
like
One
to
more
close
time,
with
sir.
is, once upon a time, the worst form of punishment that was reserved for criminals was solitary confinement. You know, Kala Pani we used to call it. Today, we are pushing our children into solitary confinement by giving them all these kinds of gadgets worth thousands of dollars or rupees. Very happily, it's like we are pushing our child into Kala Pani. All of us are worried that AI is eliminating human employment. But what is far, far worst and far more sinister is AI is eliminating human engagement. Nobody wants to connect with anybody else. And hence, dear parents, stop making excuses. Oh, how will my child fare in school? How will he compete? How will he learn the computers? How will he earn a living? You can earn a living only if you have learned how to live. If you have no human engagement, nothing is going to help your child. And I'm going to conclude by saying my research shows that in the last 20-25 years, we have seen an unbelievable rise in the number of children with behavioral problems, with autism, with learning disabilities, with aggression, with anger, with anxiety. That is because we removed human engagement. The next 20 years, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm very worried that we are going to see worst spectrums. We are going to see children who are far more anxious, children who are delusional, children who have beliefs which do not have any reason, children who will not listen to reason, children who cannot delay gratification. And if you want to believe or you want to have an idea of what I'm saying, just watch that series on Netflix that we mentioned. This is for all of you to take a screenshot. You can again, Google this or scan the QR code, and all these videos are put up here. They're all free for all of you to watch. And finally, this is another picture that you can take. These are my details. We have centers in Mumbai, in Gujarat, and very thriving online support system for children and parents. And we have about 150 children from across the world who are part of this network that we have. And if you need any help or you need to discuss anything, you're most welcome to reach out to any of us. So if you've taken, I'm going
Samir
to,
sir,
yeah.
attendees want to take a screenshot of the previous QR codes you showed. Can you just display
Yeah, 1
those?
minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Let me know. Huh?
And two more of the earlier ones.
Okay.
Yeah, one more, I think, about this. Before, yeah. No, there was one more, I think so. Yeah. This one, yeah.
He's my friend from Dubai, actually. Yeah, this has all the details. If you take a picture of this, everything else will be available.
Thank you,
I
Samir,
just
sir.
want to quickly play
Yeah,
one
please.
last clip. If you just give me a minute, just
Yeah.
1 minute. Just give me half a minute. Because the most vital thing for parents is what I want to show the last part.
होने पे ऑक्सीजन मास्क खुद ब खुद नीचे आएंगे दूसरों की सहायता करने के
Just one moment.
Meantime, I request the audience to put their questions in the chat box so that we'll try to get it answered from Samir.
How is this connected to parenting? It's just the
1
most
second.
important message for parenting is first look up to yourself as a father or as a mother. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you will not be able to take care of the child. And how do you do that? Please understand the stress and turmoil that you as a parent go through. You have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your family members, you have to take care of your job, and you have to take care of your children. You have to look after the finances, you have to look after the house, you have to look after so many things. It hardly leaves any time for you. And if you do not have time to rejuvenate, you do not have time to go to the gym, you do not have time to spend with your friends, you are not going to be in the best shape to take care of your child, even if the child has no other problems. So the key message here is make sure you factor in some time every day, which is me time, a time only for yourself, not as a wife or as a husband or as a son or a daughter or as an employee or as a manager or as a parent. It has to be just you, your time. हवा का दबाव कम होने पे ऑक्सीजन मास्क खुद ब खुद नीचे आएंगे दूसरों की सहायता करने के पहले खुद अपना रकाब पहन ले How is this connected to parenting? It's just the most important message for parenting is first.
All right. Thank you very much. And thanks, Dr. Shafeeq, for this opportunity. Assalamu alaikum.
नहीं सर वेट करें सर थोड़ा क्वेश्चन ले लेते हैं.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. From your busy schedule, I know it is very difficult to catch you, and but even till last moment of this webinar, just before joining, he was busy in his office. तो बहुत मुश्किल से पकड़ के लाना पड़ा. Unfortunately, despite all these efforts, some were not able to attend for whatever reason, because it's weekend in Middle East in afternoon, and they have social commitments. But alhamdulillah, we have a good number attending here. Those who have joined, I hope they will convey the message that not to miss such webinars. It is not easy to catch such highly qualified professionals who are busy in their professional life for even a few minutes. But Dr. Samir has spent almost 1 hour with us, which we are fortunate enough to, benefit from his very informative, scientific, and enlightening session. And now I open the session for the question and answers. There are a few questions in the chat box, if I can read those. If somebody is not able to type, or they can unmute and speak, not an issue. अगर आपको English से, if you're not comfortable, you can speak in Hindi or Urdu, no problem. Dr. Samir can understand that language as well. So feel free, because we want you to benefit from his presence, because as I said, it's not very easy to catch him. So please make the full benefit of this session. Try to ask your queries and ask questions, and get your doubts clarified. Okay, I'm just checking the chat box.
आप हिंदी में उर्दू में बात कर सकते हैं, और मेरे कलीग फ्रेंड पेरेंट भी हैं, जो हमारे एक बच्चे के पेरेंट है, योगिता मैम. मैं कुछ देर के बाद उनसे कुछ 2 बातें बोलने के लिए कहूंगा एज अ पेरेंट, बट यू कैन आस्क क्वेश्चंस बिफोर दैट.
Sure. There was one question saying that, if the AI is so bad, how students are competing or something like that. I'm just trying to trace where is that question. Okay. Someone said that, sir, if it is so bad, then how do kids cope with the, I think, competition, something? Just, yeah. Yeah. Competition and learning application, something. So basically, you are saying about the digital, environment and its consequences or disadvantages. So they're asking, like, if it is so bad, I mean, how kids can survive or deal with this competition in this world.
I said I will not make excuses, so I'll be very blunt. If there is a competition in the school for shooting people, do you want your child to participate and come first in that competition? If there is a competition for throwing a bomb at somebody, do you want your child to come first in that competition? The answer is obviously no, because it is harmful. If there is a competition for smoking drugs, suppose there is an organization which has organized competitions for smoking cigarettes, do you want to send your child and become first in that competition? So competition का वो पर्दा डालने के पहले सोचिए किस चीज की competition के लिए हम बच्चों को हिदायत दे रहे हैं, किस चीज की competition के लिए. अगर वो चीज मीठा खाने के लिए है और बच्चे को कल हार्ट डिजीज होने वाली है, क्यों उस कंपटीशन में डालना है आपको? जो कंपटीशन ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहा है वो मीठी चीज बेच रहा है, वो पैसे कमा रहा है, आपका नुकसान हो रहा है. So this is a mentality that has been created that is making you blindfolded, that if you don't go there, your child will lack in the later world. Not at all. But if many of us together also oppose this competition, then everybody's child also will be safe. In a workplace, there's another video that I can show you actually. One of the persons having the highest salary in the world today is a Indian person. आप वो ये देख लीजिए, वीडियो एक है मेरे Instagram पे. Also, some of the top CEOs in the world are from Indian subcontinent, say India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Why? Are people coming from this subcontinent technologically better than Germans or Americans? No. Then why are our people becoming CEOs and managers? Because we are able to handle people better. We are able to handle situations better. We are able to handle diversity better. So we have all gone to foreign countries and become big managers and CEOs. This we learned because of diversity back at home, because of nurturing environment in our childhood. Today we are able to handle diverse situations without getting frustrated, because we are not technologically focused only. We are human focused. If you take this away, you will be in the same situation that the Western world has been, and our children will also lose that advantage, because success in a workplace doesn't depend upon your marks. None of you ever thought of asking me, Dr. Dalwai, आपको 10th में कितने मार्क मिले थे? No, you are interested in what I have to say, whether you agree or don't agree. You are not asking me my marks. आप MBBS में कितने बार फेल हो गए, या MD में पहले बार पास हुए या फेल हो गए. You are not interested. You are interested in how I can help you. This is most important for success. It's not getting more marks in an IT-driven competition or typing something. So please don't be afraid. If you teach your child how to handle situations, he will hire 20 people who came first in their class, and they will work for him, and your child will be the boss.
Sure. Sir, there is one more question. जैसा आप कह रहे थे कि खाला, नानी, whatever the family members, if they are around, it's always good to groom the child. But in some combined families or larger families, there are some issues with the cousins and other things. From whom they can learn some bad habits. So how to deal with that? That's the question.
बहुत अच्छा सवाल है. ऑफिस पॉलिटिक्स का नाम सुना है? ऑफिस पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में सुना है? अरे उधर भी थोड़े विलन होते हैं, उनके साथ भी डील करना है. वो घर में सीखे हम बचपन में, बंबई में, कराची में, ढाका में, उधर सीखे, उधर से सीख के आए. तभी ऑफिस पॉलिटिक्स हैंडल होता है. तो कजिन भी जो थोड़ा शैतान है, अच्छा है, वो बचपन में हम सीख जाते हैं उसे कैसे हैंडल करना. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, वो नेचुरल है, अच्छी बात है. नेचुरल चीजों से अपने बच्चों को दूर मत, मुख्तलिफ मत रखो, अलग मत रखो. जो भी नेचुरल चीजें अच्छी बुरी, जितना जल्दी बच्चा उसको एक्सपोज हो जाए, उतना बच्चा टेक्स इट इन हिज स्ट्राइड.
So there is one more question. The whole society is going in one direction with whatever the electronic revolution has come. So, there is an influence of the peers as well as the society. So how to cope up with that? So this
सोसाइटी कौन है भाई? सोसाइटी कौन है भाई? आप और मैं सोसाइटी है. आप और मैं जाके ऐसे स्कूल में बच्चों को एडमिट करेंगे जहाँ पे सिर्फ कंप्यूटर सिखाना है और ऑटिस्टिक बनाना है, तो सोसाइटी उस डायरेक्शन में जा रही है। हम फंड कर रहे हैं, हम कमा कमा के पैसे इन चीजों में डाल रहे हैं, हम हमारे बच्चों को खरीद खरीद के अगर ये दे दे, हम फंड कर रहे हैं, फिर हम सोसाइटी, कौन सी सोसाइटी, हम ही तो सोसाइटी है। हमको ये डिसाइड करना है कि भाई ये क्या हो रहा है, ये जो चल रहा है जो पूरा डिजिटल, और सिर्फ डिजिटल की बात नहीं है, मैं यही बता रहा हूँ। डिजिटल सबको मालूम है बुरा है, क्यों स्टॉप नहीं कर सकते? क्योंकि बच्चा स्टॉप करने ही नहीं देगा। क्यों? क्योंकि द ओनली एंटीडोट फॉर डिजिटल टाइम, द ओनली मेडिसिन फॉर स्क्रीन टाइम इज ह्यूमन टाइम, पीपल टाइम. You have to give your time to your child, or the child has to have time with other human beings. Only then he'll keep the gadgets away. If you don't do that, it's very difficult to keep away from gadgets.
I remember your post regarding social time is more important than the social media time.
बिल्कुल सही, बहुत अच्छा बोले।
There is one question, sir. How to deal with the tantrums and aggressive behavior, especially if the child is autistic or speech delay?
तो वो अलग तरीका है, वो बच्चे को नॉर्मल करने के लिए जो मैंने वो पाथवे दिखाया, जो हम करते हैं विद स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन, यू रिक्वायर स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग. That may not be possible to solve now, but you can contact me later and we'll help you. But general, if a child doesn't have special needs and has tantrums, the only way is to ignore the child. Tantrum वो चीज है कि मुझे desperately अभी वो शफीक भाई की टाई चाहिए, desperately चाहिए, मुझे बहुत पसंद आई, और अब मैं चिल्लाऊंगा चीखूंगा सबके सामने तमाशा करूंगा, तो बेचारे शफीक भाई शर्मा के मुझे वो दे देंगे. तो अब मैं सीख रहा हूँ कि किसी से पास में मेरे को कोई चीज चाहिए तो ऐसा तमाशा करना चाहिए, ड्रामा करना चाहिए, तो जोर जोर से और ड्रामे करूंगा मैं. ये है टेंट्रम. अगर शफीक भाई बोले जो करना है करो, मैं देता ही नहीं, मैं चला ही जाता हूँ, चलो तुमको जो करना है करो, मैं क्यों ड्रामा करूंगा, मैं चुप बैठ जाऊंगा, मैं रोना धोना बंद करूंगा. बोले कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है, बड़ा पत्थर दिल इंसान है शफीक भाई, कुछ फायदा नहीं मेरा रोने धोने से, ड्रामा करने से, तो मैं नहीं करूंगा ड्रामा. बच्चे का भी टेंट्रम ड्रामा है. अगर उस ड्रामा के ताकत में आके आपने दे दिया, तो बच्चा सीखता रहे, बस जब मैं ये करूंगा मुझे हर चीज मिलेगी. तो चलो आपसे मिलेगी, फादर से मिलेगी, कल स्कूल के बच्चों से थोड़ी मिलेगी ड्रामा करने से. कल गर्लफ्रेंड रहेगी, थोड़ी गर्लफ्रेंड बात मानेगी उसके ड्रामा करने से, उसकी सास थोड़ी उसकी बात मानेगी ड्रामा से. लेकिन आप बच्चे के माइंड में डाल रहे हैं कि ड्रामा से हर चीज मिलती है, ये गलत है. अगर बच्चा ड्रामा कर रहा है, टेंट्रम में इग्नोर करो, समझाना मत. उस समय बच्चे का इतना वो सर में खून चढ़ा हुआ है, कुछ समझ बात नहीं आएगी, इग्नोर करो, चुप बैठो, निकल जाओ, उसको लगने दो यार ये पत्थर दिल इंसान है, तब टेंट्रम बंद हो जाएंगे. और कुछ हद तक ऑटिज्म चिल्ड्रन के बारे में भी हम वही करते हैं, मगर उसमें कुछ और बातें भी सिखानी होती है पेरेंट्स को.
Sir, there is one more question. Like, how to protect our children from bad peers or this, I mean, classmates or so friends who push them into the such devices addiction. Like, घर में तो हम समझा सकते हैं ना कि भाई हाँ इसका ये problem है, don't use this and all that. But when they go to the class, they see everybody is using the same devices, so they get influenced by such friends. So how can we deal with such kids?
नहीं, ये बहुत अच्छा सवाल है. देखिए एक फर्क है, 10-11 साल तक, 10 साल तक आपका बच्चा अलग है, 10 साल के बाद वो टीनेजर होने के समय थोड़ा अलग हो जाता है. 10 साल तक बच्चे को ऐसा है, अगर आप घर में एनवायरनमेंट बहुत अच्छा है, घर में बच्चे को इंसानों के साथ मस्ती मजाक, हंसी मजाक, लव अफेक्शन करने में अगर अपॉर्चुनिटी है, तो बच्चा कोई भी बाहर की चीज नहीं करेगा. 10-11 साल के बाद जब टीनेजर थोड़ा वो माइंड में चेंज आता है, तब बच्चे को ओवरऑल आउटसाइड इन्फ्लुएंस ज्यादा अट्रैक्ट करने लगता है. मगर सोल्यूशन वही है. अगर घर में सिचुएशन बहुत ही बच्चे के लिए अट्रैक्टिव है कि मेरे पेरेंट्स के साथ मेरी रिलेशनशिप बहुत अच्छी है, फ्रेंडशिप के जैसा है, मैं बातें कर सकता हूँ, तो बच्चा बाहर के इन्फ्लुएंस में कम आएगा. इसमें गलती ये होती है कि हम 4 साल के बच्चे के साथ जैसा बिहेव करते हैं, उसी तरह से 14 साल के बच्चे के साथ बिहेव करना चाहते हैं. ये नहीं चलता है. 4 साल का बच्चा टोटली आपके कंट्रोल में है, अगर आप नहीं करोगे तो रोड पे एक्सीडेंट हो जाएगी. 4 साल का बच्चा समझ नहीं आता है, वो बैल्कनी से गिर जाएगा. तो 4 साल के बच्चे में आपका बहुत सारा इख्तियार करना जरूरी है, कंट्रोल करना. 14 साल के बच्चे को आप कंट्रोल करने जाओगे तो टोटली हाथ से निकल जाएगा. तो ये जो चेंज है ना, स्लोली स्लोली स्लोली, कि बच्चा अब अडल्ट बन रहा है, उसको खुद के थॉट्स है, खुद की ओपिनियन है, उसके ओपिनियन सुनना ये जरूरी है. 4 साल के बच्चे का ज्यादा कुछ सुनना जरूरी नहीं है. लेकिन 14 साल के बच्चे का सुनना जरूरी है, बोलना कम है। तो 4 साल के बच्चे में 90% पेरेंट बोलना चाहिए, 10% बच्चा बोलना चाहिए। 90% पेरेंट की बात, 10% बच्चे की बात। 14 साल के बच्चे में 90% बच्चे की बात, 10% पेरेंट्स की बात। क्यों? वो 10% आप रिजर्व रखिए, आपका कार्ड रखिए 10% डेंजरस चीजों के लिए। अब वो बोल रहे हैं कि मुझे पीला शर्ट पहनना है, नीली कमीज पहननी है, आपको लगेगा क्या ये कबूतर की तरह कपड़े पहन रहा है, पहनने दो। वो 90% में आ गया। बोलेगा मुझे मोहम्मद रफी नहीं सुनना है, किशोर कुमार नहीं सुनना है, मुझे वो कोल्ड प्ले सुनना है, सुनने दो, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा। लेकिन बोलेगा मुझे ऐसी चीज करनी है जो डेंजरस है, उस वक्त आपको आपका कार्ड डालना है। मगर आप 90% चीज बोल रहे हो तो कुछ नहीं मानेगा। वो 10% बचा के रखिए डेंजरस चीजों के लिए, ड्रग्स के लिए, बैड कंपनी के लिए, डेंजरस चीजों के लिए, डेंजर फास्ट ड्राइविंग के लिए, ये रिस्क टेकिंग बिहेवियर के लिए 10% बचा के रखिए। इसलिए ज्यादा मत बात करिए, उसकी बातें सुनिए। सिर्फ जो सीरियस बात है उसमें आप आपका मतलब यू पुट योर फुट डाउन। दैट इज द ओनली वे यू कैन प्रिवेंट इट।
Thank you, sir. Before I go to the next question, I'll give chance to Shabnam ji. Ma'am, आप hand raise किए हैं, आप unmute करके पूछ सकते हैं। Shabnam ma'am, are you there? I will go to the next question then. Okay, sir, I think it's related to the good touch and bad touch. जैसा family combined family है, वहाँ अगर हम बच्चों को छोड़ते हैं तो इवन रिलेटिव्स हो सकता है कि कुछ अब्यूज हो जाए, ठीक है, गुड टच बैड टच के इश्यूज हो जाते हैं, तो हाउ टू डील विद दिस?
Again, this is a very sensitive and a long topic. So in short, the only answer will be very open. जैसे मैंने कहा, चैनल ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन शुड बी ओपन। बच्चे के माइंड में डाउट नहीं आना चाहिए कि मैं ये बात पेरेंट को बोलूंगा तो चिल्लाएंगे मुझ पे, या सुनेंगे ही नहीं, या बात मानेंगे ही नहीं। अगर आपके बच्चे को आप पे ट्रस्ट है, किस बारे का ट्रस्ट? आप उसके पैसे चुराएंगे वो डाउट नहीं है बच्चे को। बच्चे को ये डाउट है कि आप उसको जज करेंगे। आपने कुछ बोला कि मम्मी आज मैं, ये बच्चा मेरा दोस्त है, अरे कैसा दोस्त है तेरा? मम्मी मेरे को आज ये शर्ट पहना, अरे कैसे कपड़े पहनता है तू? ये डाउट है। ये सब हरकतें अगर आप कम करेंगे ना, छोटी छोटी बातों पे, अरे तेरे को 2 रोटी खाना ही पड़ेगा, अरे नहीं खाया कभी 2 रोटी, ठीक है, बी ओपन। तो बच्चा इज ऑल्सो ओपन। अगर कुछ ऐसा खुदा न खास्ता उसके साथ हुआ है तो आके आपको बताएगा। अगर चैनल ओपन है तो ऑब्वियसली अदर चीज है कि आपको भी पेरेंट को ध्यान रखना ही है कि किस जगह आप भेज रहे हैं, किसके पास भेज रहे हैं, कैसे लोग हैं, क्या है, आपको वो निगरानी में ही रखना पड़ेगा। तो ये इस शॉर्ट दौर में मैं आपको इतना ही समझा सकता हूँ, मगर उसके काफी सारे डिटेल्स है। मगर मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट डिटेल इज चैनल ओपन रखे, दरवाजा बच्चे की तरफ से ओपन होना चाहिए। चाइल्ड कैन ऑलवेज कम टू योर, शुड बी एबल टू फील आई कैन ऑलवेज गो टू डैडी एंड मम्मी एंड से वॉट एवर आई वॉन्ट। तब ये बातें आपके नजर में आएंगी।
जी सर। सर, और एक सवाल है कि nowadays when you say no to the kids, they react and show attitude, how to handle it? मतलब जब कुछ चीज डिसिप्लिन के लिए बोला जाता है तो either they make faces or shout or show attitude, तो ये कैसे डिसिप्लिन करनी है?
नहीं, डिसिप्लिन का बात ये नहीं कि बच्चा आपकी बात हर चीज माने, इसको डिसिप्लिन नहीं कहते। डिसिप्लिन उसको कहते हैं कि जो चीज डिसाइड हुई है वो की जाए। ये फर्क समझ लीजिए आप। डिसिप्लिन उस चीज को कहते हैं कि जो आपने और मैंने डिसाइड किया करने के लिए, वो आप और मैं करें। तो सबसे पहले ये है कि हर चीज जो घर में हो रही है एक प्लानिंग के तहत हो। तो हम सबसे पहले स्पेशल चिल्ड्रन के पेरेंट्स को भी ये ट्रेन करते हैं, शेड्यूल बनाइए। शेड्यूल में दिन भर का शेड्यूल बनाइए जिसमें हर काम जो बच्चा चाहिए हो सकता है, लेकिन लिमिट में। तो यस और नो ये आंसर नहीं है, बीच में का जो डिस्कशन होता है वो पेरेंट ने करना चाहिए। वो मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया मेरे लेक्चर में। तो इसलिए एक तो शेड्यूल रखिए जिसमें हर चीज एक लिमिट से की जाती है, तो बच्चे को लिमिट अंडरस्टैंड आता है कि पूरी तरह से यस भी नहीं है, पूरी तरह से नो भी नहीं है। ये ओपन होना चाहिए आपके बच्चे के बीच में। दूसरी बात ये, जैसा बच्चा बड़ा होते जा रहा है, आप कम मर्तबा रूल्स बताइए, आप कम रूल्स बताइए जैसे बच्चा बड़ा हो रहा है, और गाइडलाइन ज्यादा करिए कि भाई ऐसा हो तो बेहतर है, मगर करना ही चाहिए ऐसा नहीं, एक्सेप्ट फॉर वेरी डेंजरस थिंग्स। तो ये यस और नो के झगड़े में जाइए ही मत। अगर उस वक्त बच्चा गुस्से में है तो जैसा मैंने कहा वो टेंट्रम वाली बात है, उस वक्त आप वहां से निकल जाइए, मुंह मत लगिए। क्योंकि जो गुस्से में है वो आदमी सुनेगा ही नहीं, शांत बैठे। अगले दिन 2 दिन के बाद वो टॉपिक निकालिए, बोले बेटा तू ऐसे ऐसे बोल रहा था, ये अगर तू करना चाहता है तो इसमें हर्ज नहीं है, ये खरीदना चाहता है तो इसमें हर्ज नहीं है, मगर इसमें इतने पैसे लगते हैं, मेरे पास इतने पैसे है नहीं, अगर हम ये चीजें करेंगे, अगर आप भी मेरे लिए कुछ चीजें करोगे तो मैं आपको कुछ पॉकेट मनी देते रहूंगी या देते रहूंगा, उसके तहत आपके पास इतना पैसा आ जाएगा, अगर आप 50% लाओगे बाकी का 50% मैं डालता हूँ। ये सब चीजों से बेसिकली बच्चे की रीजनिंग एबिलिटी बढ़ती है कि हर चीज का एक तरीका होता है, नॉट नेसेसरली एक ही तरीका है, मगर डिस्कशन तो ये करना बच्चे में जरूरी है। यू डोंट नीड चिल्ड्रन हु लिसन टू एवरीथिंग यू से। अगर बच्चा हर चीज को भी यस बोल रहा है आपके, तो भी गड़बड़ है, फिर दुनिया उसको बेवकूफ बनाएगी। He should be able to think, and your job as a parent is not to make the child listen to you। आपके आवाज बंद हो जाएगी एक ना दिन, ऊपर जाना है ना, तब कौन बताएगा बच्चे को क्या करना चाहिए, उसकी वाट लग जाएगी, बिकॉज ही डजंट नो व्हाट टू डू। बच्चे को अपने एबिलिटी से सोच के डिसीजन लेने की एबिलिटी दिलाना, ये पेरेंट का काम है। मेरे बगैर मेरा बच्चा सक्सेसफुली, इंडिपेंडेंटली, कॉन्फिडेंटली कैसे सिचुएशन नेविगेट करे अपनी जिंदगी की, ये सिखा के जाना, ये पेरेंटिंग का काम है। तो यस और नो पे मत जाइए, थिंकिंग पे जाइए।
सर एक क्वेश्चन है। Some kids are expressive and vocal and they express what is going on in their life, but some of them are very confined to themselves. They don't speak what all is going on in their life. तो इन लोगों को कैसे खोलें या उनसे कैसे समझने की कोशिश करें कि भाई व्हाट इज हैपनिंग देयर।
अगर अगर स्पेशल चाइल्ड है, अगेन वो बात अलग है, वो शफीक भाई अगली बार इंशाल्लाह सिर्फ स्पेशल बच्चों के लिए प्रोग्राम।
I think it is normal child. I think it's
मगर
normal
रेगुलर बच्चे के लिए मैं आपसे कम क्यों बात करूंगा शफीक भाई, मैं आपसे कम बात क्यों करूंगा, मैं आपसे खामोश क्यों रहूंगा? अगर आप मुझे डराते हैं तो, अगर आपसे मुझे डर लगता है, आपने मुझे बहुत बार इंसल्ट किया होगा, आपने हर तरफ मुझे सब लोगों के सामने जलील किया होगा, बेइज्जत किया होगा आपने, तो मैं नहीं बोलूंगा आपके सामने, मजबूरी है रहना आपके घर में मुझे। लेकिन अब क्या करूं, इतना आपने मेरे को इंसल्ट किया है, मैं आपके बोल के फायदा ही नहीं, आप कोई मेरी बात कभी माने नहीं शफीक भाई, इसलिए बच्चे बात नहीं करते। अगर आप उनकी बातें सुन लो, जरूरी नहीं कि हर बात पूरी करो, लेकिन बातें सुन तो लो, बच्चे को बोलने तो दो, बच्चे को एक्सप्रेस तो करने दो। नहीं भी बोलना है तो कम से कम ऐसे दिखाओ कि आप डिसीजन ले। गवर्नमेंट कैसे करती है, कोर्ट में कैसे होता है, सुनवाइयां होती है, उसके बाद रिजल्ट आता है, आदमी को लगता है नहीं कम से कम सुन तो लिया है मेरी बात, ये होना चाहिए। अगर आपका बच्चा आपसे ओपन नहीं होता है, इसका एक वजह ये हो सकती है, या तो उसके कान खराब है, या उसकी जबान में प्रॉब्लम है, या आपका बिहेवियर ऐसा है, ये सोचिए।
Sir, I think Shabnam ma'am, you want to speak up? You can unmute and ask quickly. Yeah.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह। सर माय सन इज
वालेकुम सलाम
12 years।
जी।
मेरा बेटा 12 साल का है एंड थ्रू आउट लाइक वो बचपन से बहुत टेंट्रम शो करता था एंड ही इज लाइक कि अगर उसे बोलो कि नहीं बेटा ये नहीं करना है आपने, वो तब तक पास से नहीं हटेगा जब तक वो ना हाँ नहीं करवा ले। और उसकी एक प्रॉब्लम हर जगह से ये आती है कि इसका फोकस एंड कंसंट्रेशन नहीं है, चाहे वो स्पोर्ट्स हो या एकेडमिक्स हो। और ही और दूसरा असर ये कि उसे गैजेट्स का इतना ज्यादा है कि बस अगर टैब लेंगे तो मोबाइल लेगा, मोबाइल छोड़ेंगे तो फिर कंप्यूटर लेगा। एंड अगर उसने ये सब नहीं किया, अगर उससे ले लिया किसी भी तरह से, तो फिर बाहर आके भाई बहनों के साथ झगड़ेगा। हाउ टू हैंडल दिस, स्क्रीन टाइम कैसे कम करे एंड फोकस कंसंट्रेशन का इशू।
अभी आपने जो बोला ना कि मेरा बच्चा ये करता है, ये करता है, ये नहीं करता, ये नहीं करता, जो आपने बोला ये आपके ऑब्जर्वेशन है, करेक्ट, आपने देखा है ये बात, एम आई राइट?
जी करेक्ट।
जो मरीज डॉक्टर को बताता है उस चीज को हम सिम्टम कहते हैं, लक्षण कहते हैं, सिम्टम्स, करेक्ट। मेरे बच्चे को उल्टी है, मेरे बच्चे को जुलाब है, बुखार है, रैश हो गई है, इसको क्या कहते हैं? सिम्टम्स। डॉक्टर का काम सिम्टम पे दवाई देना नहीं, मतलब बुखार के लिए पैरासिटामोल टाइलेनॉल देना, ये काम नहीं है। डॉक्टर का काम ये है कि बुखार की वजह क्या है ये मालूमात करना, और अगर मलेरिया है तो मलेरिया की दवाई देना, टाइफॉइड है तो टाइफॉइड की दवाई देना। बहुत बार क्या होता है बच्चों के डिफिकल्टी में, हम सवाल पूछते हैं जो कंप्लेंट्स होते हैं, और सामने वाला जवाब भी सिम्टोमेटिक ही देता है, मतलब बुखार के लिए आपको टाइलेनॉल मिल रहा है। आपको आपने एक चीज बताई कि वो गैजेट से हुक्ड है, सोल्यूशन है गैजेट्स हटा दीजिए, ऐसा होगा ही नहीं कभी, क्योंकि पैरासिटामोल देने के बाद बुखार कम होगा, फिर दूसरे दिन आ जाएगा, क्योंकि मलेरिया ठीक हुआ ही नहीं। तो आपको सोचना ये बच्चा कर रहा है ये तमाम चीजें, उसके पीछे प्रॉब्लम क्या है, बीमारी क्या है। प्रॉब्लम ये हो सकती है कि कुछ बच्चे बाय बर्थ उनका सेल्फ रेगुलेशन, आत्म स्वनियंत्रण या सेल्फ रेगुलेशन थोड़ा वीक होता है, वो ज्यादा पेशेंस
करेक्ट।
नहीं दिखाते। जो 4 बातें मैंने हायर फंक्शंस की दिखाई बिगिनिंग के स्लाइड में, डिलेड ग्रेटिफिकेशन, कि ठीक है अब मुझे जाना है कहीं कुछ खाने के लिए, कोई बुला रहा है, मगर अब मेरे को ये फिनिश करना है तो रुकना पड़ेगा वहां खाने के लिए, ये एबिलिटी नहीं डेवलप होती। रैशनल थॉट कि यस और नो के बीच में क्या क्या है, ये डेवलप नहीं होता। गुड कम्युनिकेशन एबिलिटी की मम्मी मैं ये इसलिए चाहता हूँ क्योंकि इससे मेरा ये फायदा है, एबिलिटी नहीं है। एंड
बिल्कुल।
एबिलिटी टू थिंक एज अ ग्रुप, हम चारों भाई बहन मिलके क्या कर सकते हैं, ये सोचने की एबिलिटी नहीं। और ये एबिलिटी अर्ली चाइल्डहुड में डेवलप होती है और सोसाइटी में डेवलप होती है, मगर कुछ लोगों को इंटरनली उनकी वो जज्बात थोड़े वीक होते हैं। अगर आप वहां से शुरुआत करेंगे, छोटी छोटी बातों से शुरू करेंगे, उसका ग्रेटिफिकेशन मतलब जो पेशेंस लेवल बढ़ने का शुरू होगा, बिना उसको इंसल्ट किए, बिना हर्ट किए, तो बच्चा समझ के करने की पॉसिबिलिटी। अब होता क्या है, आपने 10 चीजें बताए, मैं भी आपके जगह हूं, मैं भी चिढ़ जाऊंगा, मैं भी बच्चे को 2-4 उल्टा सुल्टा बोलूंगा, एक आध बार कुछ पीट भी दूंगा। अब बच्चा ये जो कर रहा है जानबूझ के नहीं कर रहा है, वो उसकी खांसी है या बुखार आ ही रहा है। अब आप बोलेंगे बुखार बंद कर, खांसी बंद कर, थोड़ी हो सकता है। वो बोलेगा तो मैं तो खांस रहा हूँ और ये तो मुझे चिल्ला रही है, आप रॉन्ग दिखने लगते हैं। तो ये बच्चे की जो एबिलिटी कम थी पेशेंस की, वो उसे पता नहीं थी, आप पे मुसीबत आई उसकी वजह से आप उसको डांट दिए। वो तो इनोसेंट है, वो तो नहीं जानता क्यों डांट रही है। अब उसे पता चला है कि हर बात पे मम्मी डांटती है, बुरी मम्मी है, मैं नहीं। अब बुरे इंसानों के साथ बुरी तरीके से पेश आना पड़ता है, ये दुनिया की रीत है। इसलिए वो आपसे झगड़ रहा है, इसीलिए वो भाई बहनों से झगड़ रहा है, सभी के साथ झगड़ रहा है, क्योंकि सब उसके साथ उल्टा सुल्टा बोले उसको, क्योंकि जो बेसिक प्रॉब्लम थी वो समझ नहीं है, क्योंकि हम बुखार में
सर अभी
पैरासिटामोल देते हैं। तो
अभी क्या करना चाहिए, जैसे आपने कहा
अभी इसको
छोटे
बैठ
स्टेप्स, तो
के
किस तरह?
अभी इसके लिए बैठ के पूरा प्रोग्राम बनाना पड़ेगा कि दिन से रात तक कहाँ कहाँ इसके आर्ग्यूमेंट होते हैं, दिन से रात तक कहाँ कहाँ इसकी मुसीबतें होती है, कौन से चीज में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, और हर चीज का प्रोग्राम बना के ये पेरेंट्स को एडवाइस करके करना है। तो हमारा जो ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम है ना, उसका नाम है पेरेंट कोचिंग प्रोग्राम। हम ज्यादा सोचते हैं कि पेरेंट्स का कोचिंग इज 70% इम्पोर्टेंट, चाइल्ड कोचिंग, काउंसलिंग, थेरेपी, मेडिसिन इज ओनली 20-25% इम्पोर्टेंट। तो ये सिचुएशन में जब आप बच्चा 5-6 साल से ऐसा है, आपको ये प्रोग्राम के तहत ही ठीक होगा। ये सिर्फ ऐसे मेरे बोलने से आपके समझ आएगा, लेकिन कर नहीं पाएंगे।
तो सर ये कांटेक्ट नंबर पर कांटेक्ट करके
ये
इसमें
मैंने
एनरोल कर
शेयर
सकते
किया, इसलिए मैंने शेयर किया है, आप देख सकते हैं, स्क्रीन पे
Uh,
डाला है मैंने।
sir, we'll go to the next question.
हैं? ओके सर।
Actually, there are two questions. I will try to club them so that you can answer accordingly. One parent is asking about any good book or online content for learning parenting. I mean, this is one. Second thing is, जो हो गया सो हो गया अब तक, यानी maybe there are a lot of mistakes we do. I mean, there is no proper grooming before marriage or soon after marriage. बच्चे हो जाते हैं and then we don't know how to deal with the kids. तो जो हुआ सो हुआ, लेकिन अब अगर हम अच्छे पेरेंट बनना चाहते हैं, we want to be good parents. So what is the way out? This is the question.
So it is never too late to be a happy parent. Good और bad की बात ही नहीं, all of you are good parents. Important is whether we are happy parents. So उसके लिए कुछ simple चीजें हमें समझनी चाहिए, लेकिन उसको हमेशा फॉलो करना चाहिए। तो अगर प्रॉब्लम ऑलरेडी ज्यादा नहीं है, तो ऐसे जैसे आज का डिस्कशन हो गया, आपको मैंने ये देखिए स्क्रीन पे, आप मेरे इंस्टाग्राम पे जाइए, ये सब चीजों के वीडियो बना के मैंने फ्री में शेयर कर रखे हैं। मगर क्या होता है मौलाना साहब की तकरीर सुनते हैं, 2 दिन अच्छा लगता है, तीसरे दिन हम भूल जाते हैं। तो ये अपने आप को रिमाइंड करना जरूरी है कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं। अब उसमें क्या होता है, बहनें हैं, भाई हैं, हमारे फ्रेंड्स हैं, हम एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं एज पेरेंट्स। और नहीं तो अगर प्रॉब्लम बहुत ज्यादा है तो यू कैन टेक अ कोर्स और समथिंग विद अस वेयर वी कैन प्रोफेशनली गाइड यू फॉर द फर्स्ट 3 or 4 or 5 months टिल यू गेट ऑन ट्रैक एंड देन डू इट। तो करना हम लोग को ही है, बिकॉज सोसाइटी इज चेंजिंग सो बैडली कि हमारे माइंड पे नेगेटिव इन्फ्लुएंसेस आ रहे हैं, जो इतने आ रहे हैं कि हमें वो नॉर्मल लगने लगते हैं, वो नॉर्मल नहीं है। उसके लिए भी हमें माइंड में डिस्कशन चालू रखना चाहिए, ये सही बात नहीं है। और हमारे सिमिलर थिंकिंग हम उम्र लोगों के साथ ये हमेशा एक दूसरे को एनकरेज करना चाहिए, जैसे हम जॉब में करते हैं, एजुकेशन में करते हैं। तो ये पेरेंटिंग में भी जरूरी है कि एक दूसरे को हमेशा सपोर्ट करते रहे और लॉजिकली सोचते रहे। और जो मैंने कहा ऑलरेडी, किताब तो अभी मैं एक लिख रहा हूँ, मगर अब तक जो है वो मेडिकल बुक्स है, लेकिन ये जो वेबसाइट है, मेरे पॉडकास्ट है, यूट्यूब पे काफ़ी पॉडकास्ट है, ये सब मैं शफीक भाई के साथ तो शेयर करता हूँ हमेशा। शफीक भाई आपको अगर ग्रुप बना दे तो ये ग्रुप में आप शेयर कर सकते हैं,
Sure, sir.
या मैंने मेरा डिटेल लिखा है, आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप मैसेज दे दीजिए, मैं आप लोग को सबको ग्रुप में डाल दूंगा।
Sure, we'll do, sir. I will wait for 10 more seconds. If there are any
नहीं
questions,
डॉक्टर,
please.
एक योगिता मैडम है, मेरे बहुत सालों से उनका बच्चा हमारे साथ है। योगिता मैडम आप हैं वहाँ पे, कुछ बोलना चाहेंगी आप? आपका
Yes,
अनुभव
sir,
कुछ
I'm
शॉर्ट
here.
आप पेरेंट्स को कुछ बताना चाहेंगी, सब पेरेंट्स को?
Um, okay, my name is Yogita. I have two boys. One is 13-year-old, and the second one
Sir,
is
she
a
is not
7-year-old.
visible. If you'd like to show her
1 second.
video, yeah. Maybe I think you need to end the screen show.
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Sir, you need to end the screen share.
अच्छा अच्छा, सॉरी वन सेकंड।
Hello?
Hold on, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can.
Hello, my name is Yogita, and I have two boys. One is 13-year-old, and the other one is a 7.5-year-old. My 7.5-year-old has a autism spectrum disorder, and we have been with Dr. Samir for last 4 years. As usual, like other parents, we were very happy parents. We had a first child and the second child, and the family was complete. Life was going very well in England. My both children born in England, until we found out when my second child had a little issue. That time they didn't told me clearly that what kind of issue your child had. They just said to me, the National Health Services mentioned that something is not right with your child, and that's it. After that, I was just googling what things. In fact, I didn't know what I'm googling. So that time I was completely helpless, and then we had a COVID situation, and I was like very sad situation that I cannot help my child. And then I found Dr. Samir, and we started online program for my child, and they used to train me, coach me what to do with the child. That's what we did for 2 years, and we noticed a very good changes in my child. Later on, as he said, we need a big society. We born and brought up in a culture where we had a neighbors, we had a relatives, we have a friends, we have a social religious things around going around, like we celebrate all religious things around here, and that's how we born, and that's how we probably able to accept the different things in our life. But then I realized, as Dr. Sami said, that my child is not able to accept that. Then I decided, okay, I'm going back to India, and I'm giving my children all that environment what made me a better person. And then we moved to India. Now it's been 3 years. I'm going to Dr. Sami's clinic every week and having offline sessions, and now I can see my child is a lot better. He's going to school independently. He's dealing with his own things. He has a better schedule. His understanding level is a very good. He started making a friends now. He's communicating with my relatives, my neighbors very well. Now I can see he's a growing child now. He's dealing with his own emotions, own problems, and now even now he's playing downstairs on his own without mommy. So he's quite independent now. So these things really help. I have implemented all the things what Dr. Samir said in my life, and these are really, really helpful. That's very simple changes in a life. We have to just take a pause in our life, because I know as a parents, our life have a lot of speed, like a bullet train. Just take a pause a little bit, think about children, what we are doing with our kids, what we want from them, if we want to make them a better people, who deal with the emotions very well, who deal with the problems very well in the future, not just academic wise. There are other so many things they really need to learn. That's what we are working on, and I think that help a lot. Not with just my younger child, we are implementing with the elder child as well. and that helping a lot. My elder child is just a 13-year-old, but he's absolutely a responsible child. He can talk to me very well. We don't have any issue at all. And most important, we don't have a screen in our house. It's just my mobile, which is always on in attic where nobody can reach. I don't answer all the phone calls. And now my relatives and friends realize that she doesn't answer. So if we want to call her, we have to, find the right time, then she will answer. So society accept the things. I realize that if we make a little change in our life, society accept that. We don't need to be available all the time on a phone.
Absolutely. Thank you. So well said. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll wait for just 5 to 10 seconds. If there are any questions, please come up and then unmute yourself and ask the question before we. Yeah, Mahmuda, ma'am. I think she has raised.
Shall I leave, sir, now? Sorry.
Yes,
Shall
yes,
I leave?
yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Assalam.
It's very informative speech, and you are saying that we should not give the gadgets very often to the children, but nowadays the school they are sending all the notes and different things on net, and it is not possible for us to keep away from that. And before COVID, we were very concerned about the time, our screen time.
Yeah,
But
ma'am,
now
I
it is
think,
not possible because
yeah,
of this.
yeah, I think your
And
question is
how
clear
to
to Samir
overcome
sir.
this, sir?
Yeah, I think for the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. The question is correct about, see, what happened is education and all shifted to online because of COVID. But during COVID, we were all wearing masks. Is any of you wearing a mask now? No. उस समय मजबूरी थी, we did it. That time
But
schools were shut. So we started online education. After that, there is no reason to. Now I understand you yourself alone cannot change the school rules. So there are two things you can do. One, on your own basis, you can intervene, take the message down from the school or whatever, and pass it on to your child. So try and minimize the connect of your child with the digital media. Try and minimize. Come kariye.
yeah,
Second,
we take notes, Xerox, and we will give like that. But the usage of for them, like it's not like before.
Okay.
They
I
are
think
saying we
so
need
I'm
to go
coming to the second
somewhere.
part is that
Yes, sir.
the second part does not involve only one mother or one father. It involves all the children from that school. School principals tell me कि Dr. Samir, parents themselves want us to start all kinds of classes and all homework and all apps, etc. in school. If they don't do it, they will leave our school and go. So it is both ways. Please understand, market provides what the buyer wants. If the
Yes, sir.
buyer doesn't want something, no, are you anybody buying a pager today? Nobody is buying a pager. So guess what? Nobody is making a pager. It is
So we
us.
are
So
considered
what?
as a backward people,
Yes,
backward thinking people. If
correct.
we say like this,
Correct.
and even the children, if we say no to the to mobile or screen time, they are saying, "Amma, all are having and all are doing this, all are doing that."
Correct.
But though we give good advices to the children, in due course, it is not possible to restrict anything, sir.
No,
It's of waste what we are saying and doing.
okay,
in due
Samir sir,
course,
Samir sir, for the sake of the time, what I try to do is, I mean, for the same question, I'll just put it this way. As a society and as educators, I mean, teachers and all that, can they raise their voice to make the education policy in such a way that we can minimize the digital interaction of the students? Is that possible?
absolutely, by one demonstrating it to ourselves. For example, I would request so many mothers and fathers here, make groups if you all stay close by, send your children to each other's houses, and at that time ban mobile use. Today, friends come to somebody's house, there's a so-called play date, और तुम्हारे घर में आके दोनों बच्चे अपने अपने मोबाइल पे बैठे हैं. So these are the things we have to put a foot down as parents. Because children always bhag jate hain jo nayi cheezein dekhte hain. That's childhood. They will always get distracted. We as parents have to put our foot down. Why I gave this talk today, Shafeeq bhai, is not to say कि मेरे बचपन में ये होता था या शफीक भाई के बचपन में ये होता था. That becomes old uncle story. अरे तुम्हारे बचपन में वो दिन गए. I'm not talking about my childhood or your childhood or the last generation's childhood. I talked about 6 million years of human evolution. Humans have evolved in a way that they need nurturing care. Our genes need nurturing care for the first 10, 12 years of our life. And in that nurturing care, evolutionarily, there was no room for technology or digital media. We have to understand this. For example, why are we having so much curves against eating carbohydrates or sugars? Why is there so much information ki don't eat so much sugar, it is causing diabetes or heart disease or blood pressure? So we are fighting against it. Why? Because too much of sugar and processed food is spoiling our cardiovascular system, our heart and our blood vessels. Because our heart is not designed to handle so much of cholesterol or sugar. Am I right? Similarly, the human child's brain is not designed to handle so much of digital media. Period. That is the end of the story. Your heart and your blood vessels are not designed to handle too many chocolates, too many soft drinks. So we are all working against it. Similarly, your child's brain is not designed to handle too much of digital media. Khatam ho gayi baat. Our body is not designed to consume too much of alcohol. So we should not be consuming alcohol. Religion has said don't consume alcohol because your body is not suited for it. Similarly, the child's brain is not suited for this kind of a childhood where there is no nurturing care, only schools and only screens. Both are difficult. Both are important here. Your time is more important than the school time. Family neighborhoods are more important than school time. The moment you prioritize schools over family, tuitions over uncle के घर जाने में, you are pushing your child into the binary benefit फायदा पढ़ाई लिखाई marks first rank 80% 90% college admission. You are the one doing it. You are the one pushing it there. So we all have to step back, like that wonderful lady said about her child. Step back and see what are we doing to our child, and don't feel नहीं नहीं मैं मेरे बचपन का मैं कैसे फोर्स करूं. It is not your बचपन और मेरा बचपन. Please, it is about 6 million years of human life. It is not good for your child's heart. Similarly, alcohol is not good for your child's liver. Similarly, too much of screen is not good for your child's brain. If you think like this, you will be able to do everything and stop everything. But if you think, no, 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 screen say my child will become smart, God save you. I can't do anything.
सर आपने अपने बचपन की मिसाल दी, ठीक है, आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड, लेकिन आपने मेरी मिसाल क्यों नहीं समझ में नहीं आया. सिर्फ मेरे बाल गए हैं, अदरवाइज आई एम स्टिल फ्रॉम दिस जनरेशन. Okay. If there are no more questions, I will thank Dr. Samir sir for spending so much time with us, and enlightening us and giving a lot of information on parenting. Although it's a huge topic, everything cannot be covered in one session, and we'll try to give you the video recording. And there is a link in the chat box to join the WhatsApp group so that you can get updates about the upcoming webinars. We try, the IIPA tries to bring the webinars on various important topics which are relevant and important to you. And stay with us. And I'll conclude this session by playing the introduction of IIPA so that those who have joined late, they'll get to know about the IIPA.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया और आदाब आप सभी को. Thank you so much. शुक्रिया.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Once again, I thank you, the audience, for being so patient and listening to our speaker and interacting with him. Jazakallah khair, and thank you so much. And Dr. Samir sir, again, thank you so much. Thank you.
Love, thank you.